something important happening soon.
Bobby, how big is it just to have this game on campus as opposed to a neutral site this year?
I just think it's a great thing for our fans, a great thing for the university, for college basketball. It's a spotlight game Saturday night. It's going to be a big time atmosphere, and you know, our players are juiced for it.
Bobby, just how big is it when you host the #1 team in the country?
I mean, it's special. You know, it's special because of what they've done and what they're all about. Their program is what, you know, a lot of programs are striving to be on a consistent basis, and to to see that opponent here and have an opportunity to play them is a great experience for us. And it's you know, their players have been in a lot of big games, and we're trying to push our guys and put them in a lot of big games so that it for the long term of the season, and this is another example of that. And you know, they bring so much to the table. The ranking is one thing, but you know, the players that they have in that locker room, and a Hall of Fame coach, and you know, it's why we compete and do this, to have chances to play in games like this.
Bobby, you guys did a number on them last year. Do you think what happened at Allen Fieldhouse will be a part of Bill Self's pregame?
See, like the thing is with that, Tim, is like I have my own problems here. You know, just trying to worry about Arizona State and how do I work on our offense here the next couple of days to for us to play a little better to the level we need to, and I try and avoid thinking about what Coach Self might be telling them to get ready, because again I have my own issues.
How do you approach handling last year's game? Have you watched it with your guys a lot? Will you watch it more? I mean, is it yesterday's news?
I watched it last year after the fact, and I have not watched it. You know, their roster is a lot different, and you know, they do have a couple of key players that are playing at a very high level. Gerald Vick has had some unbelievable outbursts on offense this year, and the additions that they've made have you know, have put them in a great position with Lawson and the freshmen. So they're you know, obviously a very talented team.
Bobby, what about the environment? Have you thought about just how crazy Baker's going to be come Saturday?
I'm so looking forward to it. I know what it'll be. I know the energy, the electricity, you know, in the crowd, and it will. You know, we got to hold up our end of the bargain, and I'm sure they're going to play at a high level. And it's just, you know, just we want to see, you know, two heavyweights going at it, and we feel like you know, we've competed with some of the very best teams already this year, and have been able to win or be very respectable. So we're looking forward to see where we stand.
Bobby, I know Fat Lever and Byron Scott 1981 has nothing to do with the task at hand on Saturday, but it's happened one time in school history. Can you jump outside the coaching box for a second and just talk about the opportunity to check a box in school history that's only been checked once before in terms of beating the #1 team in the country?
It's just tough because I'm not like, it's not going to change me or really what we do if that happens. That's going to be a product, if it happens, of us making it happen through the work we put in and what we could do between the lines. And you know, the historic part of it, I kind of stay away from, and again, I'm just in the moment of just getting, you know, trying to get my team ready and not think about, you know, outside things like that, and just get them concentrated playing the best basketball that we could play on Saturday night.
Does that include the holidays? Coach Self always talks about how tough it is to get his guys focused for this game right before break. Same thing here, same thing for you?
I mean, in the past I would always worry, but you know, just the significance of the game and the opponent, and the fact that the teams have won so many games and there's only 2 losses. I mean, we've lost twice. So, you know, I think the magnitude of the game that you know, Santa's going to have to wait, you know, a couple of days so that everyone's in its thought process, for, you know, as far as we're concerned anyway.
I know Saturday's not about you necessarily, but when it is Kansas and your history as a player against Kansas and stuff like that, do those memories come flooding back to you?
Not really. When I started thinking about the game, I thought about how special last year was, and go through that, and for our players to see them have that experience. But not as far as me as a player. I try and forget about that now. But yeah, it's I think this is a different year. Again, different rosters, different teams, and we have different players as well. So it's it's not the same.
What do you approach a Kansas team in offense that can be real reliant on a couple guys at times?
Well, I mean, they have multiple guys that could hurt you, and they have a good inside game. They have a good plan to get the ball inside, and they also have, very explosive perimeter players, and they have young players that were highly regarded players that have played against the very best competition. So, no one's going to shouldn't be intimidated about anything that goes on. I think both teams have been in tough spots, have played great competition, and now it's just time to play.
He's been out, but do you still prepare for Azubuike at all, or?
I mean, it doesn't look like, or you don't see any indication that he will, but you never know. We're going to try and stick to our defensive principles and things that we practice, and certainly if he's in there, we're going to have to tweak some things and make sure that that we're paying attention to him. In terms of not allowing him to get deep post position, and so he's definitely an impact guy if he's available, but we don't know that.
So Zylan, is it even possible to treat this as just another game, or just the hype kind of takes over at some point?
As tough as it sounds, that's kind of what you got to do. You never get too high, never get too low in this business, but obviously we know what's at stake. We know what type of team we got coming in here, and we've approached everything accordingly. So, like I said, we're feeling good going in, and we're just going to give it our all.
Does it feel different playing the #1 team in the country?
I've actually played them before when they were #1, so this is a similar game. I'm approaching it that way, and obviously, like I said, man, you got the #1 team coming in here. You want to approach everything accordingly, so it's just kind of what we got to try to do.
What do you expect the environment and the night to be like?
I mean, preseason, once our conference our non-conference schedule came out and everybody's seen that we had Kansas at home, especially considering we beat them last year. It's been pretty much the most talked about game all year. Like I said, it doesn't help. It doesn't hurt that both of us are ranked right now, and they're #1, undefeated, and we've accomplished what we've accomplished. So I'm expecting it to be a big-time game, a big-time crowd atmosphere, and big-time players doing what we love.
Have you watched last year's game much? Or
I watched it live. I watched it, watched it in film the following week. I've seen it. Like I said, they're a new team this year. They got a lot of new guys, but pretty much we're just going to approach it the same way. High energy, and do what we do, and put our best foot forward.
What jumps out about them as far as challenges?
Like I said, they got size. They push the ball. They got versatile guys. They got guys playing at a high level right now. Vic, Diedrich Lawson, some of the guys that are playing at a really high level right now. And we got to do a good job of making everything tough for them, making everything tough for their team as a whole, and trying to execute what we got to do.
What would a win against the #1 team do for this program?
It would definitely open a lot of eyes, I think. I definitely would love to get this win just for, the city, for the environment, for our guys, just all the work we put in, and just to prove to ourselves that, we can play with anybody. So, like I said, we're just going to execute what we got to execute and put our best foot forward and live with the results.
You saw Kansas as #1 before?
Yeah,
Where was
when
that?
I was at San Diego State, my redshirt freshman year.
At the Fieldhouse?
Yeah, no. We played them that was the year. We beat them the year before at Fieldhouse.
Okay.
Then they came in our place the next year. We ended up losing by like 10. But, when #1 team comes in the city, it was just the atmosphere, everything was unbelievable. And I feel like it's a similar situation here. But, we weren't even ranked. So,
right.
Just to see 2 ranked teams battling it out Saturday evening, prime time hours, I think it's going to be a show.